Buy like a billionaire. You have until November 15, 2013 to buy your first $1,000 worth of gold or silver at spot prices. Click the link below in the More Info section for more details. Again, till November 15th.
Welcome back to the second hour of today's edition of Butler on Business, the November 4th edition. And joining us now is David Morgan of the Morgan Report. David is our precious metals expert. And tomorrow you're going to hop on a plane, fly to Germany, and attend the gold conference, you said?
Well, it's actually called the International Precious Metals and Commodities Show.
And are you one of the speakers for that show?
Indeed, I am. I'm going to be speaking on silver and gold.
Well, let's practice on us. What are you going to be telling this international audience of people about the precious metals?
Well, first of all, let me preface it by saying that I've spoken, throughout Europe over many years. I have done this conference in the past. This is, I think, my fourth time attending as a speaker. And of all the European countries, it's my strong opinion that really there's only two areas in Europe that really get the precious metal story, in particular silver, and that would be Germany primarily, and a close second would be Switzerland. London, it's kind of hot and cold. There's a few that get it, and they're very avid silver bulls, and I can name them almost on one hand. And France doesn't ever seem to be that warmed up to the precious metal story as a fundamental case. They look at it as a momentum trade. I haven't spoken in Spain or some of the northern areas like Sweden or whatever, but throughout the main body of Europe, it's particularly Germany and Switzerland that get the monetary aspects of the metals and why they're so important. I'll be speaking about what's happened the last couple of years, because I haven't been there for a couple of years, why we have had this bear market trend within a secular bull market, why the bull market is not over, and what to expect near the end of the market. I'm going to contrast what happened in the gold market in the 75 to 78 time frame, where we went from roughly 200 to 100 back to 200 over 3 years, and a lot of people gave up during that time frame, only to watch gold, claw its way back from the 200, 100 level, claw its way back to 200, and a lot of people thought that was a double top, that things had, gotten as good as they're going to get, and some even held that long to cash out, to think they'd broken even, only to watch gold rapidly go from that point up to the 800 level, or actually beyond, almost 875 on the near-term futures contract. And I expect something similar to take place in the metals this time. What I think will be different this time is that we have a conundrum. The last time Paul Volcker was the head of the Fed, the economy in the United States was relatively robust compared to where it is now. And so the ability for the Fed to hike up interest rates or whatever, that just does not exist. So this time around, I think we could get overextended or overvalued in the metals. Certainly that is the potential. In fact, it's one of the reasons that we hold them. But I don't think this time you're going to want to cash out for, dollars at the top, so to speak. So we're watching that very carefully. In fact, I think that's, personally, one of the most important factors that you should take to heart this time in the market. Because last time, in the 1980, early 1980, first month of 1980, you could have cashed out and done all kinds of things for the next, 30, 40 years up until this point in time. This time around, it's a global problem, and I think the way you exit is going to be extremely important. I think it's going to be more important how you exit than how you enter. That might sound bizarre, but if we have a currency crisis, which I fully expect, then how you exit this market and what asset classes you go into and where you put those assets, I think are going to be particularly important, not only for yourself, but for your children and grandchildren.
David, did you see where the Germany is being lambasted by the International Monetary Fund and other banking organizations for their low inflation rate?
Well, this is what you get near the end. I mean, this is, again, moving toward a currency crisis that's really in slow motion right now, but could accelerate at any time. It's a name, shame, blame. Everyone's throwing names and making statements at each other, and it's going all over the place. I mean, China said we should de-Americanize the financial system. I think there's some merit to that. Germany's being, put all kinds of heat on them, basically because objectively, and I'll try to be objective here, is they're probably the most productive country in the European base that's tied to the euro. And so they have been basically bailing out the other nation states that are euro-based, and now they're getting lambasted for, their productivity, so to speak. There's all these kind of, anything to obfuscate the actual issue. The actual issue that the central banks have lost control. All they can do is try to borrow their way out of this, and that the name-calling gets more and more intense, and rather than take responsibility and accept the fact that they've overextended and there's a debt burden that cannot ever be managed, rather than say anything along those lines, then let's just blame Germany or let's blame, the UK or whatever. So it doesn't surprise me. It's another signal to look for if you're awake and aware. I mean, if you get your news off of alternative sources like this and bet that against the mainstream media and start to use some critical thinking, then obviously you can start to come to conclusions that you would not have if you just drone along in the mainstream media only sector.
Well, the bizarre thing, I mean, in addition to complaining that Germany had too low an inflation rate, they were also blasting them for having so high an export rate. And, I'm just sitting there thinking, what is this world we're living in where Germany is being criticized because their currency is stable, and they're being criticized because they have a surplus in their international trade? I mean, who are these people, these central planners that would attack a country for providing a stable currency over there? I mean, I recognize they're on the euro, so that brings me a question. How can they say Germany has too low of an inflation rate if they're circulating the euro?
Well, interesting. I really don't have a comment on that. What I will say is, thinking outside the box, and this could just be some kind of diversion to kind of take some of the NSA pressure off. I know that's a stretch, but the way this world's working now, I mean, for the NSA, the National Spying Agency, the National Security Agency, coming in and tapping the private cell phones of world leaders. I mean, America has lost a lot of status throughout the world, not only for the debasement of the currency on a global basis, because everyone's tied to the dollar still, more or less. And the other thing is that they are upset with us for this spying. So, let's divert it. Let's start attacking Germany for their, inflation situation, for how they manage their finances. Let's divert it from what we've been doing to something they're doing. So, I think that's too big a stretch. It's like, one of the oldest game in the book is to, put the attention somewhere else.
We've been speaking with David Morgan. David publishes the Morgan Report. David, briefly, we're under just a few seconds left. How do they get a hold of the Morgan Report, starting with that free version and then elevate from there?
Yeah, just go to the website, themorganreport.com, get on our free email list. The first email you'll get will say sign up for free for 30 days, and it truly is sign up for free. You can read everything, see everything. We do a lot of videos, etc., and that's the best way to get started, and it's free.
All right, David Morgan. David, have a safe trip to Germany. What part of Germany?
Munich.
München. I like Germany. It's a lovely country. It's going to be cold over there, though, guy.
Oh, I know. Thank you much.
All right, enjoy. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Have a safe trip.
Okay, bye-bye.
Silver123.net is a silver saver program designed to be as simple as possible. For as little as $50 per month, you can set up and create an automatic cost average buying program that will get silver or gold sent to your door on a monthly basis. The first step to creating an account is easy. You will supply some basic information. Next, you will add a bank account from which you will schedule your purchases. Scheduling purchases makes saving easy. Silver Saver is customizable and allows you to control the amount and the date of purchase. Once you are signed up, you are then given your affiliate code. Now you can save in precious metals and also market this program. You can use email, web pages, and multiple forms of social media to share the Silver Saver program. Silver Saver will reward you generously with physical silver or gold whenever someone you refer becomes a saver. Silver Saver not only provides you with a share code, but also allows you to place your own banner ad on a website of your own. Silver Saver is one of the best ways to start saving and accumulating gold or silver, especially at these levels. Visit silver123.net and start saving today.